I've been blessed to have several prayer partners with whom I pray on a regular basis every week. It's been a game changer for me. And the way that our prayers used to go was we would exchange our praise reports, we would exchange our requests, and then I would pray for them, they prayed for me. And we've seen numerous testimonies as a result of that. But I realized not too long ago that as God started to expand our territory and we were encountering new levels and new devils, that we need to change tactics and improve the way that we prayed. My name is Darian Claxton, the author of the Bending Bows of Bronze devotional series. And this is day 3 of 30 days of me sharing nuggets from my newest devotional, Subdue the Enemy Under Your Feet, a 31-day journey to eliminating spiritual strongholds that hamper your health, money, and relationships with God and others. And in this particular day, we talk about the power of covenant agreement. Now, Jesus says in Matthew chapter 18 that if two of you agree about anything here on earth, it will be done in heaven. And that which you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there in the midst. We often think that just because there's 2 of us or 3 of us in a group that we're good to go and that we're unlocking this force multiplier. But when I came across texts like Deuteronomy 32 verse 30 that says that one of you will chase 1,000 and 2 will put 10,000 to flight, when we apply this principle of covenant agreement, you will find once insurmountable obstacles on your spiritual battlefield move out of the way. So the first thing that I want to tackle is the fact that we are not coming into agreement about an outcome. If it's ourselves praying alone or it's 2 or 3 people, we think this is how God should manifest with our children who are wayward, with some untenable health situation, with a financial challenge. Here is how God's going to come through, and we're going to come into agreement about that. But the reality is when we have faith in God's will, then we're not coming into agreement on what we want, not our will, but his be done. And so now we can't lose, because whatever we come into agreement on is not dictated by how we think the movie is supposed to end. In the book, we examine 2 parties in a covenant agreement. The first is the declarer. That's a person who states the petition, the problem that they want to come into agreement about before God. And the other person is the affirmer. The affirmer is a person who listens actively, the one who asks spirit-led questions, the one who exhorts and encourages, the one who corrects and rebukes hopeless talk, and the one who declares God's glory over the request. Now, what if you don't have a prayer partner? What if you don't have somebody to come into agreement with? You and God are still 2 people, and you can form a covenant. Just like how Christ came into agreement in John 17 when he's praying for his disciples, and when he was in Gethsemane, he wanted somebody to pray and watch with him for an hour, and all of them jokers fell asleep, and yet and still he and God came into agreement, and thankfully all of us are here as a result of his sacrifice. So you are not disadvantaged when it's just you and God. Here's a question I have for you. Who is somebody who can be your prayer partner, somebody with whom you can come into covenant agreement? Maybe somebody you're praying with right now, but it's surface level prayers, or it's prayers that glorify an outcome that you or that person dictate. How can that now become a relationship where God gets the glory no matter what the outcome is? That's my challenge for you. Go ahead and grab a copy of this book. You can go to bendingbowsofbronze.com and download the first 3 days for free, and then grab your paperback version or your audiobook version. Either one, you also get the digital version instantly. Tomorrow we'll expose the subtle ways that we come into agreement with the enemy and give him unnecessary access in our lives. See you then.